So they release the DD2 and DD2 Masters drivers, a total of 34. So it's 14 minutes plus an additional lap that will be put on the timer. So let's have a look at the grid. Ragnar Virus starts from pole, Ville Viljinen alongside Zenderua and Peder Bezel, row 2. Florian Breitenbach and Mika Metz make it an all-German row 3, ahead of Jakob Bezel and Manuel Tencher, row 4. Nico Jörg and Philipp Moitzi ran out the top 10 and complete row 5 for Austria. Luca Muraretto and Fabian Bock, row 6, ahead of Zana Schriblak, Michael Becker, Daniel Mahacek, Hannes Morin, Paul Louvaux, Laurent Seyfried, Dennis Thum and Patrick Slok-Mellis rounding out the top 20. Matthias Lund, Mark Bartels, Alessandro Glauser, Johan Andersson, Imke Arts, Bruno Dos Santos, Leo Kirschenbauer, Dennis Thiem, Lukas Hossmann, Jiri Matacek, Thomas Schumacher, Robert Schopian, Leon Arndt and Christophe Capitain complete the 34 strong. They now go on to their official formation lap. And at the moment, Peder Bezel leads the way in the points in DD2, closely followed by the likes of Matthias Lund, Ville Viljinen, amongst others. Paul Louvaux has already secured the 2021 DD2 Masters crown back at Mulsanne, and he secures his place at the Bahrain International Karting Circuit for the Grand Finals representing Team France, and good to see he's wearing his Team France overalls as well. Seems to have brought him good luck all the way through the season. It will be down to Ragnar Virus and Ville Viljinen to control the pace. So red lights on the gantry, 14 minutes will be set on the timer. As now Virus and Viljinen now start to slow the field down. They've got to get into formation pretty quickly before they allow them to get into the tram lines. Into the tram lines they go, revs rise. We are racing! And a good start by Viljinen, who gets a little bit ahead of Ragnar Virus going into turn 3 for the first time. And round the outside looks to be, that is Peder Bezel, that's slungshot his way up into second, through into turn 4. 2-3 abreast going through turn 4 for the first time of asking. But Viljinen is in the lead. Second, it's Peder Bezel. Third, it's Ragnar Virus. Fourth, it looks to be Zenderua. And fifth will be Mika Metz from Germany, through the chicane for the first time. And one driver being sort of pushed aside a little bit, just keeping an eye on who that is. That is the 523, that is Bruno Dos Santos, running with KMD, representing France. It's getting a little bit hot and heated under the collar because now Jakob Bezel has got past Zenderua. And up the inside, looks to be one other driver, that is Zana Schriblak trying to get his elbows out coming out of turn 14. They all come across the lines to complete the first lap, and Viljanin's got a lead of just over 0.18 of a second ahead of Peder Bezel. Ragnar Virus rounds out the top 3. A little bit of a gap between him, to the tune of about 0.6 of a second between him and Mika Metz. Jakob Bezel rounds out the top 5. Zenderua, Zana Schriblak, Florian Breitenbach, Nico Jörg and Manuel Tencher complete the top 10. Leading the way in DD2 Masters, it is Paul Louvaux ahead of Michael Becker, and Dennis Thum as now Peder Bezel goes for the lead on Viljinen and gets it. Through turn number 11, the Czech Republic driver hits the front of the field, and Ville Viljinen decides, well, you know what, I'm going to make sure he has an opportunity. But Viljinen now gets back behind, and Ragnar Virus will get a double toe across the start-finish line. Lap 2 completed. Top 3 covered by 0.2 of a second. Oh no! Massive clash between Peder Bezel and Ville Viljinen, and that has handed the lead to Ragnar Virus, and it has caused bedlam behind. Schriblak now gets up into third. Mika Metz looking up the inside and now takes 4th place. Oh my goodness. Turn 3, and there's more dramas. More dramas. Carts all over the shop. Coming out of turn 5, Robert Schopian and see there. Looks like Bruno Dos Santos is also off the track. We're going to have waved yellow flags coming out of Marshall Post 3. Oh my goodness. The hits, they unfortunately keep on coming, and there's another cart that has got a loud exhaust. It looks like it's standing from the back end of the field. Not too sure if it's Robert Schopian, or maybe, I think it could be Peder Bezel. So now this has changed everything. The title is wide open. And now Ragnar Virus has shot away And that is Robert Chorpian, who's got a noisy exhaust, so we'll have to pull that in. So dramas aplenty coming through turn number 3 between the two leaders. Villiainen went for the move and it did not stick. He went over the, looked like, well, Vieras got the double toe and Villiainen made a decision and it did not pay off for neither him nor Peter Bezel. And Jiri Matacek was the other driver that was off earlier on, so that has caused major problems. The title fight will go down to the last race of the season for DD2. Ragnar Vieras has an absolute country mile between himself and Jakob Bezel. Zana Schriblak now senses that he can have an opportunity and he goes up the inside, forces Jakob Bezel wide, but that allows Mika Metz. He's trying to go around the outside through turn number 5, does Mika Metz, but he can't get through. Schriblak shuts the door. Well, that was a bit of brazenness from Mika Metz. He thought he had the run on Zana Schriblak, and Zana Schriblak knows better than that. And we got a 5-second time penalty. Leo Kirschenbauer has been given a 5-second time penalty. So Leon Arndt out, Bruno Dos Santos out, Jiri Matacek out. Peter Bezel, I'm not too sure if he's circulating, but I would think he's probably parked it. As this has really changed everything. And at the moment, Michael Becker is currently second in DD2 Masters, but Paul Louveau, an honest 13th place for the Frenchman, who has secured the title. And this will help his run celebrating victory in the best way possible. So, 5-second penalty for the 479 of Leo Kirschenbauer from Austria. Whilst Ragnar Vieras is away. Oh, we've had another moment! Oh no, that is the 428 that has just had a massive drama. Or was that that was the 428? That was Nico Jörg. Nico Jörg backwards through turn 11. The Austrian, I think, went for a move on Zenderua and it didn't pay off. And Nico Jörg drops like a proverbial stone into the pond. As Mika Metz has just been passed by Jakob Bezel for 3rd place going into turn number 4. If yesterday was a tornado, a hurricane has made its way through here to Wackersdorf this weekend on finals day. But the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th remains as it is. Schriblak fending off Jakob Bezel and Mika Metz. Peter Bezel will now find, and I think also this has changed everything, because now with Peter Bezel scoring no points, Villiainen is still running but is out of the point stand in 28th position. Zana Schriblak is on the hunt for 20 points and that could bring him into the title push. And I'm looking where Matthias Lund is. Matthias Lund, surprisingly enough, is currently down in 21st position. And the Dane had a disaster in the final heat because the cart broke down on him going through into turn number 8, and he parks it by the ambulance between turns 8 and 9. So as they say, it's not over until the final checkered flag, and now Zander Schriblak has all the motivation he needs to try and defend his title. And we've had no one defend a title in DD2 in years past. Martin Henkel Mortensen was the 2018 champion. Jakob Bezel, who's currently in P3, was the 2019 champion. And Zander Schriblak was last year's champion. So now he's got a point to prove, and he's doing that right now. But it was all because of that clash between Villiainen and Peter Bezel that has caused an absolute drama, as 428 Nico Jörg gets a 5-second penalty that will be for an avoidable collision, and the same is said of Leo Kirschenbauer in the number 479. 6.5 minutes to go, and Ragnar Vieras leading the way, and he's putting in the hot laps. 49.635 on that last tour. 49.752 for Zander Schriblak, who's 2.8 seconds adrift. And the biggest question is, the €64,000 question is, will it be a case of if, not when, not if, Jakob Bezel or Mika Metz will try and get past Arne Schriblak. A little bit further back, there's some good dicing. Paul Louveau is battling away with, well, he's just been passed by Fabian Bock from Voik Motorsport in the 481. But at the moment, Louveau is still leading DD2 Masters. The nearest competitor to him is Michael Becker down in 18th on the road. Nico Jörg, in the meantime, has put in the fastest lap of anybody, 49.497 seconds from the 428 representing Austria. Ville Villainen officially retired. Robert Schorpian officially retired. Down from 34 to 28 drivers we go. And there is Jakob Bezel up the inside of Arne Schriblak. So Schriblak down into third place. That is still a very comfortable 16 points that the Belgian will receive once the official results have been confirmed and ratified through technical and sporting checks. And this is where the because they do have a drop score to take into account at the end of the season. And looking at it this way, DD2, so Ville Villainen won't score any points. Matthias Lund, currently 21st. Arne Schriblak currently on 60 points. That will put him into effectively fifth on, we'll put him into fifth because Jakob Bezel is currently on 20 points, but no, that's changed again. It'll be 73 for Arne Schriblak because Mika Metz from Germany has got past him. Four minutes and 16 still to go, and Schriblak, if he wants to get himself into the title push considerably, he's got to do something now. He's got to start fighting back with every sinew and every muscle in his body. He's got to push like crazy. And with the air temperature increasing, the temperature for the drivers, their core temperatures inside these triple layer FIA certified race suits will increase. And the adrenaline is flowing through their veins rather coarsely, and it's keeping them going. Just over 3.5 minutes to go, and Ragnar Virus. Okay, take it from this perspective. Ragnar Virus, I'm looking down where he is. He's 7th in the championship. Well, he's now got an opportunity. He took 3 victories yesterday, and he's got a lead of 3.7 seconds. Patrick Slogmelis from Latvia. I know that Tomas Stolsamanis is watching as well. The young Latvian. And he's cheering on multiple drivers. I've heard that Alexander Shelton is currently running in Kristianstad at the minute. The young junior. Lucas Horsman now gets ahead of Mark Bartels. Johan Andersson completes the top 15. So the points at the moment are going to the provisionally the following drivers. Ragnar Virus, who's leading. Jakob Bezel, Mika Metz, Arne Schriblak. Zenderua, who's now trying to close in on the 401. Hannes Morin, Daniel Mahacek, Philip Moitzi, Luca Muneretto, Manuel Tenschert, alongside Florian Breitenbach, Lauren Seifried, Fabian Bock, Johan Andersson and Lucas Horsman. Paul Louveau might be 14th, but he's gunning for points in DD2 Masters. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds still remain. The gap now nearly 4.1 seconds. The championship has been turned upside down and shaken rather vigorously like a sand timer, and the clock has sort of somewhat been reset. And Ragnar Virus' best finish this season was at Adria, race final 2 on the Sunday. He took a 5th place in the first final and then went on to finish 2nd. Mulsen, it wasn't a great one for the Estonian. It seems like the pendulum has swung a little bit more in the Estonians' favour. So we've got more dramas. There's a kart start, well, trying to get going again. And that was on turn number 6. But 90 seconds to go plus an additional lap. And Virus' lead now is 4.26 seconds. Bezel Metz, Derua, Shriblack and Derua, they are covered by just over 1.25 seconds, but now it looks like the second and third have pulled away. So Jakob Bezel now half a second ahead of Mika Metz in third. Shriblack is a further half a second adrift, and he's got Zen Derua, Hannes Morin and Daniel Mahacek closing down on them. And in the meantime, Philip Moitzi has been passed by Luca Muretto from Italy. So we're now going on to the penultimate lap because Ragnar Virus has just crossed the stripe. Lap number 17 underway for the Estonian. Bezel still, Jakob Bezel still in second. Mika Metz, Zona Shriblack, Zen Derua, Hannes Morin and Daniel Mahacek. They are now scrapping over what is fourth on the road. And one of the other things when you're actually in the dirty air behind somebody else, what can happen is that if you're pushing a little bit more, that is going to cause the tyres to drop off in terms of their performance over the course of a race. You've got to strategize. You've got to really, really keep your wits about you. Nail every apex, nail every braking point. Put the power down when you need to. As Hannes Morin looks up the inside of Zen Derua for the position. That was for 5th place on the road. They'll be out very shortly in the Project E20 first final. And they're doing double duty amongst others, like Johan Andersson, who's currently down in 14th position overall, as Lawrence Seifried drops to 15th. There's all bit of a manoeuvre there from Zen Derua. Well, Zen Derua was ahead of Daniel Mahacek, who just managed to get past by the slightest of margins on Hannes Morin, who's now got Luca Muretto trying to go up the inside of him, but Morin goes defensive. Moitzi just behind the Italian. Timer hit 0, and it's a 4th successive victory. Ragnar Virus puts himself in the title picture in terms of maybe the latter stages of the podium for the championship, but he is a 100% race winner this weekend. Jakob Bezel finishes in second, and that gives him 84 points provisionally. Mika Metz in third, Zana Shriblack in fourth. That gives Zander 13 points, and that puts him on 73. Zen Derua in fifth, Daniel Mahacek in sixth, ahead of Hannes Morin, Luca Muretto, Philip Moitzi, Manuel Tenschert, Florian Breidenbach, Fabian Bock, Lawrence Seifried. Paul Louveau takes 14th and takes the DD2 Masters victory in this race, ahead of Lukas Horsman and Johan Henderson, who will pick up points for DD2. Mark Bartels, Dennis Thum, Matthias Lund, Michael Becker-Wren at the top 20, ahead of Imke Arts, Alessandro Glauser, Dennis Thiem, Christoph Capitan, Thomas Schumacher, Patrick Slockmelis, Leo Kirschenbauer, running at the 27 that did finish the race, ahead of Nico Jörg. Robert Schorpian, Ville Villiainen, Peder Bezel, Jiri Matacek, Bruno Dos Santos and Leon Arndt unfortunately retiring from the race.